What is up, guys? My name is Tyler, and today we are at CES 2024. This is my second CES, but the first time that 24 Concept is here as media for CES, which is super exciting. We got Rudy behind the camera, so big shout out to him for coming and filming all this great content for us. We're gonna actually start at the Venetian Expo and go check out all the gaming brands. There's a new phone from ASUS and a bunch of other cool stuff that we wanna go check out. So we're gonna hit all that stuff first, and then we're gonna head to other parts of the expo to see what other kinds of interesting and unique tech we can find. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so the first stop we wanted to make is, of course, over at ASUS. Of course, if you guys have seen, we've done the ASUS ROG Ally. It's one of our most popular videos. They're gaming handhelds. Of course, ASUS makes a plethora of different laptops and things. So we're over here with their ZenBooks. This is their ZenBook Duo, which is kind of the wildest thing I've seen in a laptop in a long time, where you're getting two displays in one laptop. And this is kind of interesting because it looks like it comes apart in multiple pieces. So the keyboard and the trackpad and all of that separates from the two different displays here. And so the base unit is probably where all the hardware actually is. I can actually feel the vents on the side. And so basically you pop the kickstand out and then you flip it open, and then you've got this top monitor as well. And then the keyboard just attaches to it. You can move it to where you want it to go. It's kind of interesting to see where laptops are going in the future here. So if you're a laptop user and not so much a desktop user anymore, and you've always needed two displays and don't like carrying around a portable monitor, ASUS has got you covered with their ZenBook Duo. So we're here with the ROG Ally. Obviously, you guys remember the Ally. They've got it hooked up to a pair of their Air Vision M1s, which are basically glasses that you can plug into an Ally, and then you can experience the game in glasses as opposed to just on the screen. So can I put them on? Can I try them? Sweet. Well, these are pretty cool because I can still see Rudy through the glasses, but I also can see the game. So we're gonna grab the game. It's almost weird because inherently you wanna look down, back up here. Oh wow, and there's sound in the glasses too, that's interesting. This feels very strange because as I move my head, the display moves with it. And I'm really just using the Ally as a controller as opposed to looking down at the Ally all at the same time. But they do come, you can get them in prescription, correct?
Yes. Yeah, you get the whole set.
Oh wow.
And you usually see the multiple screen, right?
Yeah.
You have the left and right side.
So there's shades you can put on as well, kind of like the glasses that I wear. I have like the magnetic clip-ons. These can do the same thing. You can put these on, and what that lets you do is basically, if you want to black all the transparency out so you can really focus on the screens, you can always pop these on, and now you look super cool because you can't see anything. And are these already on sale? Not yet? Okay, wild question. Could you theoretically, it's one connection, right? It's a USB-C connection?
Yeah. Yes.
Could you theoretically connect it to, say, like the ASUS, the phone?
Yeah.
You could do it with the phone?
Yeah, any device support DisplayPort can.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But because for the computer we have
The software, right?
Software.
Okay, very cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. But now we're over at the Zephyrus line, and we've got Anthony here who's going to run us through the kind of the new things that they've got going on there. It looks like there's a 14 and a 16-inch model here. So Anthony, why don't you tell us a little bit about these new Zephyrus models?
Well, you know, Zephyrus has always been all about performance, portability, and keeping a very stylish chassis. So this year we decided to take this to the next level by using a CNC aluminum chassis. So both the G14 and the G16 are going to have this new chassis with a more subtle design that's going to be more appealing for a wider audience. We are moving on from the animatic design, and now we're using this slash lighting.
I like it.
It's a little bit more subtle. You can turn it off if you are in an office settings, or you can fully customize it if you want to have that extra personalization.
Right.
In your laptop. In terms of the keyboard, the trackpad is larger for both the G14 and the G16.
And the 16.
And the keycaps are actually also larger
Okay.
because the CNC process allows us to make the keycaps a little bit larger. It's more precise.
Right.
And you keep the same stability of the keycaps, and the typing experience and the gaming experience is great. We also upgraded the speakers. Both G14 and G16 are using a 6-speaker setup. It's
Okay.
the same speakers. The main difference is that the space for the G16 is larger. So you're gonna have a richer sound from the G16, but they're both really loud speakers. You're gonna notice the difference between the 2023 and the 2024 G14. The difference in terms of sounds is really significant.
So I actually did a review of the Ally a little while back, and that actually became one of our biggest videos on the channel. And one of the things that I touched on was how good the speakers were for a handheld, because I think a lot of times when people look at laptops or phones or any kind of smaller portable device, they don't assume that the speakers are going to be blow you away. And I honestly, like, the Ally blew me away. And it looks like you guys have the speakers over there, correct? So you can see just how big the size difference is from last year's to this year's speakers. And I imagine that makes a huge difference in just presence, bass, all of the above. And I'm sure it also gets a heck of a lot louder too, right?
Yeah. In terms of performance, the G14 is still AMD. The
Yep.
G16 is going to be Intel. So
Okay.
you get the 8945HS for the G14
Yep.
up to an RTX 4070 with 90 watts TGP.
Okay.
Something that many people might be worried about is that the TGP this year is a little bit lower than last year. But we actually realized that after 100 watts for the 4050 and 4060 and 4070, you don't get a lot of extra performance.
Extra performance.
So we believe that that was actually an opportunity to make a thinner chassis
Right.
because
And does that save on battery a little bit too as well? Or does that not really?
it depends on use case.
Sure.
Yeah. So it could.
Okay. And then it looks like it comes in two colors, right? We got this white, kind of white color, and then sort of a darker black color.
It looks great. Platinum white.
Got
It's
it.
actually very difficult to get on CNC. The anodizing process is
Really?
very complicated. So get this kind of color is difficult.
No, it's really beautiful. I think what is attractive to me the most about these is that it's the perfect middle ground between a gaming laptop,
Exactly.
like maybe like the ROG, but it's not a productivity laptop necessarily either. It sits in that nice middle area where you're getting the performance of a gaming laptop, but you're getting it in the styling and the size of a more of a productivity or ultrabook or something of that sort. And I think to me, you know, as a creative professional or an office professional that does happen to like to play games on the offhand, or even a student, right? I feel like this looks great. And if you've got parents that are buying your laptop, this is probably a much easier sell than the ROG, than the Strix. So, and then, so can you tell me a little bit about the Nebula display as well?
Okay, these are our first ROG laptops with using OLED displays.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One of the reasons we delayed this, we got a lot of requests. Hey, why don't you have OLED? Why don't you have OLED? One of the reasons that we delayed this for so long is that we have our own standard, the ROG Nebula standard.
Okay.
And one of the requirements is for the display to have G-Sync or VRR support. And
Excellent.
this was actually not possible on laptops before. There's
Really?
actually a lot of technical details that we had to work together with
Right.
Samsung to get a G-Sync support on the
On the laptop, and it's OLED. So these go up to 144, 120 hertz?
This is 120 hertz.
120 hertz?
Displays. This is 2.5K 240 hertz displays.
Wow, all OLED, and it looks incredible. Do you know what the peak brightness is for the HDR? They're both HDR, right?
HDR, yeah.
And what is the
HDR
peak brightness?
Peak brightness is 500 nits, but you can probably get higher. I actually had some other media that checked the sample that got up to 600 nits. So
Really? That's pretty impressive for a laptop. And when do these become available?
they're gonna be available in Q1, mid Q1.
Okay.
Probably, I think probably we could probably expect the G14 to drop a little bit earlier than the G16, but Q1. for that.
Okay, and can we share pricing information?
Not right now.
Not right now.
At launch, we're gonna have the press information. About
Understood. Cool. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. We're gonna go check out the Strix stuff and hopefully check out the ROG phone as well. And stay tuned for more ASUS stuff.
Thank you.
All right, so we're here at ASUS again, but we're here with the ROG Phone 8. Now, I've done a couple of phone reviews on the channel, but I've never actually gotten a chance to use any of the ROG phones, and I've got Oscar here with me. Oscar, why don't you tell us a little bit about the new ROG Phone 8?
Okay, this is the ROG Phone 8 Pro model, and what's really special about the phone is we put more than 300 mini LED dots inside the under the back panel, so it can show many kinds of animations. Like normally it shows the standard animation here, but like when somebody is calling you, it can tell you with this animation.
That's actually really cool.
Like when you are recording a video, it shows something like this. So
Oh, wow. So instead of a tally light, this is the
Yeah.
tally light now.
yeah, so people's gonna smile at you because they know they are.
Because you know you're
recording.
being on camera.
Yeah. And
Very
also,
cool.
Like
Can you do like personal messages or like anything like that? You can put like letters and stuff if you wanted to.
yeah, sure. Like when you get notification, it will tell you, and
Oh,
also
wow.
you can even put your name on it.
Yeah.
Can put your.
Ooh, can we put XXIV? It's got 24 concept written on it. How cool is that? ROG Phone 8. This is super cool. What other kind of neat, unique things can you tell us about it? Oh, wow. Speaking of handhelds,
When you need a phone, it is a very good phone. But when you need to game, this is a very good gaming device.
Wow.
So it is a foldable gamepad. So when you need it, if you don't need it, you can fold it like this.
You see that?
Put it in your pocket.
look at that. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more portable, it just folds in half.
And we even use AI to help gamers playing games. Like we have a feature called
Whoa.
Access. It can auto pick up collectible items for you in the
In game.
Yeah, and also like
Speed up conversations, that's a big one.
Yeah, and also in games like this, there are some enemies with ice magic that can have your character frozen.
Right.
Yeah. So people sometimes need to click the display continuously to
break it?
Yeah. And the AI will do it for you on our phone. Yeah. So let me show you. Like
Whoa.
here is a collectible item. There are some fruits.
Right?
Yeah. So I just need have my character.
And you just pick them up like that.
Yeah. The AI pick it for you.
That's incredible. And this is great for games like role-playing games or games where they're a sandbox, like this is Genshin Impact, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So like games like Genshin where you're running around, you're collecting items, you're in battle, and you have to like tap the screen to break out of things. These AI features kind of help you run through those a little quicker because you encounter these things a lot, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it gets a little fatiguing to have to like manually, if you've played any sort of collection game like Zelda or anything like this where you're running around collecting stuff, it gets really annoying after a while to have to like click the same button 5,000 times. So.
And also when you are exploring new maps, you can have this button to have your character keep
Auto run.
running. Auto run. So you just need to change the direction.
Yeah, so here, let's show real quick. We're trying to auto run off. So you guys saw we just did a video about a mobile handheld like this, and ASUS now pretty much offers the entire package in its entirety. You've got the ROG Phone 8, and what was the handheld part called? Does this have a name itself?
Yeah, it's called Tesson Gamepad.
Okay, so you have the Tesson gamepad that also is ROG, and you guys have heard me talk about this a lot, especially recently about handhelds, about how brands like ASUS are really trying to create the experience top to bottom, creating the phone, creating the handheld, creating the software. And when you create the full package like that, you get the best possible experience. This is super cool. And actually, this is actually pretty comfortable too. And I've noticed you've got under button paddles, which are mappable, I'm assuming, right? You can map these to whatever you want.
That's right.
Got some pretty solid triggers.
Okay, so in the past, ROG phones, the predecessor, we didn't care camera so much, but this time we have really good camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you are using a stabilizer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're building a gimbal stabilizer in our main camera. Yeah, so this time.
So basically, this has some really, really good stabilization in it. So just like Rudy's trying to keep our camera stable on his shoulder, the ROG Phone 8 basically just does it on its own with its own sort of gimbal built into the camera. And look how small that is.
So it works about 3 times better than the OIS you can find in other flagships.
Really? And so how does it do, is it both hardware and software doing it, or like how does it work?
Hardware mainly, because we normally on a OIS there is a lens shifting.
Correct.
To do the compensation, right? This time we have our whole camera module moving to do the compensation.
Wow.
So it will work better than the normal OIS.
Right.
And this time we have a 3 times zoom.
3 time? Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even if you zoom it to like a
10 times.
yeah.
That's totally usable.
Yeah, image quality is still very good. And the display is a new display this time.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the peak brightness is up to 2500.
2500 nits peak brightness.
Yeah. And the refresh rate is up to 165 Hz refresh rate.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's why Genshin Impact looks so smooth, because it's
Exactly.
running probably pretty fast.
yeah, and this gaming phone also support IP68 weather resistant.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Now, did the previous, I didn't feel like the previous model didn't have IP protection.
The previous one is about IP54.
So not as good. This is getting closer to being way more weather resistant, I would say, than
Yeah.
pretty much any other.
Exactly.
Definitely more than any other gaming phone, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Are the regular version of ROG Phone.
Oh, so okay, so there are two versions. This is the Pro, you said,
this
correct?
is the Pro one.
Understood.
These are the regular one.
Okay.
But still look really cool.
Can I hold all 3 and show my camera real fast? So what he's saying is that there's 3 different models of the ROG Phone 8. or at least two models. You got the regular ROG Phone 8 in two different colors. I'm a big fan of this ghost gray color. And then you've got the Pro model, which has a slightly different finish on it, or at least a different design on the back. And that's how you get that matrix, which is super cool there. Otherwise, you get an RGB kind of
Aura RGB lighting.
Aura RGB lighting, which we're all familiar with, of course. And I love the little touches, the good luck, have fun, established 2006, Republic of Gamers. I love little touches like that. It definitely makes the ROG Phone stand out as a unique device. So I guess, when does it go on sale? When can we see it out in the world?
Well, pre-order starting from February.
Okay.
And it will hit the shelf in Q1.
Hit the shelf in Q1. Cool. And then any pricing details today or no pricing details?
For the Pro model, it starts from $1199.
Okay.
And the regular model are starting from $1099.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
And it looks like you got Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. So a bump up from previous model, of course. 5,500 milliamp hour battery on both models.
Yeah.
Cool. IP68 on both models. So really, what's really the big difference between the Pro and the non-Pro? Just out of curiosity.
Okay, first of all, of course, the anime vision display here.
Of course.
And the second is the RAM and storage. The
Got it.
model can go up to like a 24 gigabyte of RAM and
Wow.
terabyte of storage.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Which is even higher than some of the gaming PCs
Yeah.
you can find.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
To think that a gaming PC could soon just be in your pocket at all times. Like, we talk about gaming handhelds all the time, and we forget that phones themselves are starting to become more and more gaming handhelds.
Yeah.
And then the regular ROG Phone goes up to
16 gigabyte of RAM and 512 gigabyte
of storage.
of RAM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Oscar, thank you so much for walking us through
Thanks a
ROG
lot.
Phone 8. We're going to keep looking around, and hopefully we'll get our hands on one and do a review soon. Thank
Have
you.
a nice day. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.